And then there's my snail riding a leaf. She's so silly. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you guys can see by the title, we are gonna be doing a ton of changes on my big 36-gallon tank. So we are actually gonna be changing out the substrate as well as making a few changes to the decor inside the tank today. I hope that you guys enjoy. I've decided that we are gonna be changing out the gravel in my tank to a very fine sand. While doing more research on the fish that I'm getting, I did discover that sand would be better, and I honestly think that it's just gonna be a better decision overall. I was really against sand at first. I do prefer gravel. I do like the way that gravel looks in general, and I've always had gravel in all of my past tanks, whether it was betta, goldfish, etc. I've always really liked gravel. I do love the way it looks, and also plants do grow really well in it. However, I have decided now that I do want to change out the substrate. I'm also going to be changing a few other things as well, so that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe down below and also hit the notification bell. Also in this video, I am going to be doing a review of the Python water changer. A lot of you guys said that you really wanted a review on that Python. I am going to be using it to empty the water out of the tank as well as refill it back up. So I will show you guys exactly how that works as well. So yeah, let's get started. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is obviously turn off all of the filtration and the heater and everything, the light. We got to take the top off, and then we will start draining it with my new Python drainer. So here is my Python water changer with the siphon that it comes with. This is the standard siphon. You guys said you wanted a review of this, so I'm going to show you guys basically just how to use it today and then talk about it a little bit. I won't go crazy with the review, but I do want to show you guys how I'm about to do this massive water change and how long it takes with this. This is the standard length siphon. However, you can buy longer ones, and I believe there's even a smaller version for like 10 gallons and under, but this is just the one it comes with, and I don't mind getting my arm wet, so I'm using that. And then here we have the connector that goes onto the faucet, and I'll show you guys how that works too. Okay, so here we have my sink. So the first thing we have to do is we have to remove this piece right here that is actually built onto the sink. It is basically just like the nozzle on the faucet. All right, we got that off. Okay, so I got the piece off. Now, my particular faucet has internal threading on the inside, so the piece that the Python came with screws internally, and it just screws right on, and it works really well. Okay, so here is the connector. You can see I have it here. This is the threading that I was... Here's the connector piece I was talking about with the internal threading, and basically it just screws right up into here. I cannot do this one-handed. It's really important you get this on here as tight as you can. I made the mistake of only getting it on there like a little bit tight last time, and water does spray everywhere as soon as you plug this up. This right here is basically your water flow. So basically with it open, then whenever I turn the faucet on, water will flush out, and it also produces a suction here. So whenever my tubing is in here, the siphon is in the tank, the water flow and pressure that comes down through here and flushing out the bottom while this is down will also work as a suction, and it will start sucking the water out of your tank. So that means that if this faucet was on and you lift up and twist it, water will only have one way to come out, and it will go into your tank. So in order to fill your tank up, you have it locked or off where no water can come out. And then when you have the faucet on, the siphon is in your tank and you release this, water from the faucet will come out through the bottom. It will perform a suction, and water will get sucked out of your tank through here, and it will basically all pour out the bottom. So we're gonna leave this unlocked. We're gonna go on and connect the siphon, and then we will start siphoning. Okay, so I have the siphon in the tank, and you guys can see the on and off valve here. That's what this is. I believe it's in the off position now. I think it's closed. I could be wrong, but I'm not filling the tank up. Really, this matters if you're filling the tank up, because it either stops the water from pouring out or it will close it off. So this has an on and off position basically, but I'm about to siphon the water out, so it's okay either way. So basically, I'm gonna go turn the faucet on, and then this will start siphoning out water. Make sure your siphon is in there really good so that when you run to the faucet, this doesn't fly out and get water everywhere, whether you're filling it up or not. That's where the shut-off valve really comes in handy, because you can shut it off and it gives you time to run back to the tank and then put this in there. So just be careful, make sure you have that valve off. Especially if you're filling up your tank, when you go and turn the water on, water will shoot out the end, but you're gonna wanna make sure that you run really, really fast. If you have two people, that is preferable. I don't. Usually usually I'm doing this by myself, so, but basically if you leave this valve off and you turn that pressure on to fill this up, this will explode essentially. Like if that pressure builds up too fast, you will see very big problems with it. So you kind of have to turn the sink on, run over here really fast, and turn that valve on. I know that seems kind of silly. I don't know what would happen, but I know that last time I did it, I sprung a leak at the sink end because the pressure was so hard. So you just got to be careful because that pressure will build up in here really quickly. So, all right, so I had Patrick turn the sink on for me, and as you can see, I have the valve in the on position. This is on, so the water is flowing out now. The suction has started, and it is now siphoning the water into the sink. This is the part where you could do your gravel vac if you wanted to, but I'm taking all this gravel out of here, so I really don't care today. But if you wanted to do the gravel vac part, this is where you could. Just make sure that you watch the sink and watch your levels. Like, you don't want the water to get too low if you're trying to only do 50% or something. Also be careful if you have fish in here, that you don't want them to get sucked up, whatever the case be. All I have in here is one snail, so once the water gets lowered, I'm gonna take her out. That's not a big deal. But just make sure that you watch out if you have fish, get a cover for your funnel, or if you're doing gravel vacuuming, just be careful. But again, I'm taking all this out, so I'm just emptying it at this point. All right, now that it's completely emptied, we're just gonna start taking everything out of here, including the gravel. So 100% of this is coming out. Can you do me a favor and sit this on this behind me back here? Honey, what did you do to my camera? Look at that angle. Look. You're so goofy. Wow, look at this plant. Oh my gosh. Look how beautiful and big it's gotten. It was so tiny when I got it. Oh my god, I love it so much. Wow, look at this one's roots. Oh yeah, look at those roots. Oh my gosh. Okay, oh my gosh, we finally got all of the gravel out of here. That took absolutely forever. I did it by hand and with like a scooper and a cup, and oh my gosh, I got every single piece out, I think, but it was a lot. Took forever. If any of you comment down below easier and quicker ways to get gravel out of a tank after I've already done this, I'm gonna be really depressed, so just know that. But it took forever, but finally it's done. So now that that is done, we are gonna go on and we're gonna dump the sand in here. I'm gonna dump the sand in here, mix it up, because I'm doing a salt and pepper look. I'm gonna do half black and half white. It is gonna be a very, very thin layer, so it's not gonna be really thick or anything like that. But I think what I might do, depending on how dusty it is, I don't know, but once I put it in here, I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here and see how cloudy it is, and then I may drain that water out, and that way that'll kind of be like a rinse within the tank, and then we'll just go on and fill it up from there, and then we'll end up putting the plants in and everything like that. So that's what we're gonna do now, so let's get started. Ooh, that's so pretty. So we're gonna do both.
Looks like caviar.
It does look like caviar, doesn't it? Funny. All right, we're gonna spread this out, mix it up, and then see kind of color ratio wise, because obviously I want more white than black. I'm not a big fan of black sand, but I did want to get it this salt and pepper look. I think that's really, really pretty, and I think that it's gonna look really good in the tank, so. Definitely don't want to put too much black. I think that's my biggest worry, is I don't want to put too much black, because the salt and pepper is not hard to achieve, you know what I mean? any more black. I think that's a good salt and pepper, and I don't want that black to overpower the white. So I think I'm gonna leave it this salt and pepper look, but with more of a white tone. All right, so now we are gonna go on and we're gonna put in all the plants. This is my biggest sword, and the roots on this thing are enormous. It's amazing. So we're gonna make sure to bury those in the sand really well, and I'm praying that it takes and they're okay. So the thing that I absolutely love about these tiger lotuses is that I have a bulb that was sent to me, and I don't know if my plant supplier meant to do that, but he did send me a bulb. And the thing that I love about these bulbs is they constantly reproduce. So basically I got this little bulb that looked about like this whenever I very first got it, and this plant emerged out of it. And basically once it takes shape, look at all the sand on my hands, once it takes its roots, you basically can pluck it off of the bulb, and then the bulb will regrow another plant. I'm really grateful to have one of these bulbs because these are one of my favorite aquatic plants. Then I have these two plants. These are two plants that, if you guys remember, I bought them from PetSmart, and then I moved them out of the tadpole pool and moved them inside. I don't know what these plants are. Honestly, they're not even a favorite of mine or anything. I'm gonna keep putting them in there just because they're still alive, but I have no problem. If these things die, it's not a big deal to me. They kind of get this weird rusted color on top of them. I don't really know what that's all about. Yeah, anyway, if these plants die, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna put them in there, but they're definitely not a favorite of mine, and I don't know why they keep turning this weird rusted color. I don't know, it's weird. All right, so now it is time to fill up. So I have Patrick holding the siphon funnel into the tank, obviously with his fingers over it. Now I do have my funnel with the on switch on because he is holding it. If he wasn't holding it and I was worried that it was gonna fly out of the tank, you could turn the switch off, but like I said, that pressure builds fast, so you have to be careful. So since he's here, he's helping me with it. But as you can see, I have this down, which means any tap water that comes out is gonna go here, and it's also going to produce a suction. But we are not emptying the tank, we're going to fill the tank up. So by taking this and closing it, just like that, now when I turn the tap on, the water is going to push out here and fill up the tank. Two things. Make sure that if you have fish in your tank when you're doing this, you do put your dechlorinator into the tank with any water you have in there, like if you're doing a 50% water change. Also make sure that the temperature of the water that you're putting in there is what is okay for the fish. For instance, if you have like a tropical tank or something, don't blast cold water through here. That is the only thing that I would be very careful for. I don't have any fish in my tank, so I can fill it up to any temperature, and then I'm gonna add the dechlorinator in there after I fill it up. I don't have fish or anything in there right now, so that's totally fine. But if you have fish, make sure that it's not too cold or too hot, and make sure you add your dechlorinator in there before you fill it up with the tap water. And make sure that if you have that off switch flipped off and that valve is off, that you do not build up too much pressure after you turn the faucet on. Otherwise you will spring a leak. It could explode, it could pop off. It would be really bad. You can see the water. I turned it on low. I didn't want it to blast through because I do have my plants planted and I do have this really pretty sand. So I did it really, really slowly. And as you can see, he's got his fingers over it, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much, honey.
Yep.
Which basically is just going to ensure that it doesn't destroy my sand and my plants. This is obviously extra. If you have no substrate or you only have substrate, no plants or anything, you can blast it to pieces. I don't care, but I'm doing it carefully. I'm going to go and turn the faucet up higher so this goes a little bit faster. But yeah, that is pretty much how we are going to be filling up the tank. A capful is for 50 gallons, so 3/4 of a capful will be perfect for a 36. There we go. I'm also gonna dump in some stability, which is good for the bacteria in the filter. And then lastly, I have my leaf zone, which is what I use to feed my plants. And so far it's worked amazing. I love this stuff. So I'm just gonna do what it says on the instructions for a capful of this. So prime, stability, and leaf guard, those are the only 3 things that I'm adding in here. After it is completely full to the top, I will add a few drops of ammonia just to keep the cycle going, and that will be it for adding chemicals to the tank. Hey, Lisa, say hello. Say hello, you're so beautiful. You good boy. Can you see her? Can you see her? All right, so it is almost done filling up. You have to watch it. As soon as it reaches the top, you have to make sure that you turn your sink off and then pull your siphon out. Flush any remaining water out of your tube. You can turn your valve in the off position just to be on the safe side, and then you are done. All right, guys, here is my tank the next day. You guys can see it completely finished. It's not cloudy anymore. The water's settled. All of the sand or sand-like gravel is kind of settled. I put a rose quartz in there. I took out that rusted color plant that I had planted in here yesterday when I set this up because it's just so ugly. That plant is really annoying, so I put it in my windowsill in a bucket, and I really love all the swords. And then, of course, my tiger lotuses, which are beautiful. You guys can see them right here. And then there's my snail riding a leaf. She's so silly. You guys saw her just coming down my heater. The heater is her favorite thing in the tank. She loves to sleep on the heater, sleep by the heater. She's absolutely obsessed with the heater. My snail is really funny. She's so big and so beautiful. Ooh, that salt and pepper gravel is so beautiful. I love it. I think it turned out really well. She's funny. But yeah, the tank looks really, really good if I do say so myself. I really like it. It's simple. I am going to add some more rocks in here. I actually have a lot of really beautiful big rocks that I got, and I might add some over here just as some like added decoration. We'll see. The driftwood's not going back in here, at least for a long while. I'm just going to leave this one hide. And that's all. And then, of course, all of my plants and then a few rocks. I got that little one, and I want to add some more. But that's pretty much it. My snail is so funny. I can't stop looking at her. I love her. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Also, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching me review the Python water changer. It is absolutely amazing. If you guys have a really large tank, personally, I would say anything larger than a 20 or 30 gallon, and you hate doing water changes with buckets or maybe just like a bucket and a siphon, I would definitely invest in the Python water changer. I got mine off of Amazon for about $38, not sponsored, but it is amazing and kind of life-changing. It makes water changes so quick and easy. I can do a full 60% water change on my 36 gallon in about 25 minutes, which is actually kind of crazy. With the bucket, it takes me an hour. So I highly recommend it if you do a lot of water changes, especially if you have multiple tanks. Oh my gosh, get the Python. It is worth it, I promise. Also, I hope you guys like the new layout of the tank. I'm really excited. I think my fish is really gonna enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Be kind. Bye.